Welcome back. Nigeria's former Chief of Defense Staff, retired General Christopher Musa, assumed office as the country's new Minister of Defense. General Musa was earlier nominated by President Bola Tinubu and confirmed by the Senate after hours of screening. Upon assumption of office, General Musa admitted that the task ahead of him is enormous but surmountable. He declared that the era of shedding innocent blood is over and that he will prioritize delivering coordinated responses to emerging security threats in the country. Now, joining me tonight to analyze the task ahead of the minister is the editor, Security Digest, Chidi Omeje. Chidi, do we have your attention at this time? All right. I also have a communications consultant, Ibrahim Garba, in the studio, very much waiting for us to hold this conversation. Ibrahim Garba, good evening and thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me once again, Mark.
All right, let me shoot straight with you quickly. Now, General Musa spoke about tackling insurgency and banditry. Now, in practical terms, what do you think will be his first immediate action? Now, given past delays and bureaucratic hurdles in the Defense Ministry.
Well, like other Nigerians, I will want to congratulate Christopher Musa for being given this task of managing the entire security architecture. Beyond the accolades, I think it's time for him to settle down to work, and Nigerians should give him that relief so that he can assume his responsibility immediately. Okay, a quick one, 3 ways to it, if I were advised. A lot has been said about the kinetic and not kinetic approach, which to me, these are the 2 ways about it. It's either you hit the boot on the ground and go confront these bandits in the bush, or you deploy the non-kinetic approach, which is based on widespread consultation, so that we can have peace on both sides. Because at the end of it all, it still ends up on a dialogue table where we can discuss on ways and means of resolving this crisis. But again, you need to work with, intelligence agencies. I will always suggest that Christopher Musa should work with the Nigerian police very, very well, because they have a lot of information in their hands, just like the DSS. These people, you need information to work with, even before you engage the Air Force, the Navy, and all that. It is when you are armed with information that you can go to the battlefield. And again, you have the traditional institutions. Consult them widely, because they know the areas, the ungoverned spaces around Nigeria, especially within the Northwest and the Northeast. Oftentimes, we tend to neglect them as if they are not part of the organogram. There's no way Christopher Musa can succeed, no matter what Nigerians say about him as one of the brightest, appointment that was given since independence. But you need information to work with. You need, to contact widely, and at the same time consult with the major critical stakeholders. Look, Mark, these are human beings like you and I. Before they went home to take up arms, we need to do research. You need to find out actually what happened. Why did they have to take up arms? Who pushed them into this way of life? So we need to do a lot of conversation. We need to engage people so that we can find a lasting solution. I will not support the fact that we'll continue to shed innocent blood, continue to bury people in mass graves. I don't support that. We should, because these people, because they are not opportune to be where we are today, they don't have access to basic education. They don't have access, they are, battling hunger, poverty, and all sort of, negativities about life. We cannot just rule out the fact that there should be, a medium for us to engage them in conversation. And again, he should take a step further through the security network to find out who are the financiers of these terrorist elements. I think that's the best way to go. If Christopher Musa means business, if you really want to succeed, he should take home these points: consultation, intelligence gathering, working with relevant agencies, at the same time engaging the Nigerian police. They have a lot of information at their fingertips that can help him succeed. Is this interagency coordination that made him, or rather made us fail in the past?
All right.
But again, in the end, what our advice is, Badaru left office, let him go through the files. What did Badaru leave behind? What were his challenges? It is when that is done, you have a working tool that will help you succeed, Mark.
Okay, all right. Now, Chidi Omeje, quickly. Now, during his confirmation hearing, General Musa raised several concerns about the state of the armed forces. Now, he highlighted equipment shortages and welfare of troops. Now, how likely is the government to prioritize these issues under his leadership?
Yes, I listened to him quite all right when he was making those statements, and he was spot on. And I mean, who else would know better than him? Here was a man who, in the recent past, served in very, very significant places. He was the theater commander in the Northeast, and then he became the chief of defense staff. So he knows exactly what he's talking about. And so when he says that there's a shortfall of maybe boots on ground, or that the fact that to prosecute anti-terrorism or anti-banditry or counterinsurgency, that is a very cost-intensive venture. He knows exactly what he's talking about, because most times Nigerians think that money we are spending in this issue, that probably that is too much, but it's not even enough, because if you really understand the enormity of the situation, you know exactly that we have to put our money where our mouth is. And I was happy listening to him because first of all, he understands the issue, like I said.
Right.
Secondly, he understands that he is now coming into a level where it's no longer an operational, just an operational bit, but purely administrative, purely, policy making and everything. So it's good enough that he's going to be is now the defense minister, coming with such big experience and wealth of, I'm talking about professional experience. So yes, for me, if the Mr. President wants him to succeed, he will have to take seriously his recommendations, and I'm very sure that his recommendations will be look.
All right, Ibrahim Garba, quickly, before we establish a more clear path with Chidi Omeje. Now, how can he manage the tension between protecting sensitive military information and providing the transparency that citizens expect? I think this is a very, very crucial moment in the life of the minister. And how do you think he's going to scale through this?
Look, Mark, we have to look at the basis.
Right.
Who are directly being, impacted negatively by these insurgencies? Mm-hmm. The farmers. As it stands, we cannot go to the farms. Even if we go, we're under threat, intimidation. Look, I can tell you, go down to as far as Zamfara State, you find out that farmers have to pay taxes to the bandits to be able to move their goods from one location to the other. It's that bad. It's that bad, Mark. That is one. Then number two, if you have to coordinate from all fronts, and like I said earlier on, Christopher Musa need to identify what are the basic problems. Then where do you get, how do you solve these issues? Until Christopher Musa gets to the root of the matter, one, we're going to find it difficult to get food on our table. Our farmers are going to find it difficult to go back to the farm, and the cost of food items will go higher again in January. Because even if we're witnessing some kind of relief at the moment, people say consumer prices are coming down, all that. Look, it's going to be very, very difficult, and that is why, even from what you said, I would like to engage him to work with associations that are related to development, especially the farmers, because we have them in groups. We have the emirs. We have a lot of people ready to support him, because for the first time, like I told you, yeah, Nigerians are celebrating his acceptance of this offer, because it's like what I would say, a goldfish that has just been discovered, one of the brightest prospects in the military and all that. But again, I know Christopher Musa will succeed, but he needs to work with critical stakeholders.